Hey, welcome to Too Many Gadgets. So today I'm talking about this. This is the Mi Smart Speaker, also known as Art if you have the international version. The Mi Smart Speaker is a very affordable Google speaker that you can use to control your smart home, play music, or get the usual trivia information that you can get from voice assistants. Before we dive more into this, let's have a look at the specifications. The speaker is rated at 12 watts and has two built-in microphones. You get a LED light to show you the status of the speaker. It's 13 centimeters wide, 15 centimeters tall, and 10 centimeters deep. It weighs 842 grams. Only available in the color white and uses the Bluetooth 4.2 standard. Setting up this device is pretty easy. You just have to find out which version you have, because I'm sitting here with a Nordic edition of the Mi Smart Speaker. And to set that up, which I will demonstrate just in a few seconds here, you need to use the Google Home app. If you have the international version, the Art edition, if you will, you can use the Mi Home app to set it up. So just, it's pretty similar, but you just need to find out which edition you have. And again, I'm going to demonstrate the Google Home version of this. To start out the installation, I'm gonna hold down the volume up and volume down buttons for 10 seconds just to start a reset process. You will see a light ring sort of change color and you'll hear an acoustic information. Once the blinking light has turned solid, the installation can proceed. Go into the Google Home app, and if you go to the top and have Bluetooth turned on, you'll see here that we have the Mi speaker available for us to configure. We now need to select which home we want this device to sit in, and just to verify that we have the right speaker connected. And again, it will play a tone and you just need to verify that you can hear that. We then select the room within the Google Home universe where this device will sit. And then we choose the Wi-Fi network that you want this device to connect to. Now we can select a couple of other things, including if you want voice match to be activated, which will help the device learn your specific voice. And you also need to answer a couple of privacy questions surrounding the use of these recordings that you will have with this device. You can also select which music services and video services that are connected. This is not the speaker, but your Google Home universe that it's more really related to. With all that in place, we are pretty much done and can test the device out.
Hej, jeg er din Google-assistent. Jeg er her for at hjælpe dig. Fortsæt i Google Home-appen for at se nogle af de ting, du kan gøre.
Hey Google, spil noget musik.
Afspiller musik på Spotify.
With everything working, we can have a look at the settings where we can adjust the equalizer for this device if you want to turn up the bass, for instance, which I'm going to demonstrate here. Another option we have is to adjust which device we want this to sort of stream to if you activate a video source. So I see three main use cases for having a device like this. Music being the obvious one. This is a great looking speaker with a fairly good sound experience, even for its fairly small size. This for me looks very similar when I first saw the pictures of this device to a Sonos Play 1. And for me that's very positive when I say that, because I have that device in my house. I have had Sonos for 10 plus years. And the Play 1 is a good speaker and a very sleek little design unit. And this is perhaps a little more rounded, but has some of the same sort of look and design qualities to it. And I would say the sound experience for those two devices are also fairly similar. You get a good speaker that can play fairly loud without overcompensating, and the bass is also fairly good for its size, so the plus on that.
We're skanking the rave, wrong with no shamps in the rave. Crowd go mad with the bassline drops. It's a vibes in ting, no skank in the rave. We a skank in the rave. Run with coke, no shamps in the rave. No skank in the rave. We a skank in the rave. Run with coke, no shamps in the rave. Crowd go mad with the bassline drops. It's a vibes in ting, no skank in the rave. We a skank in the rave. Run with coke, no shamps in the rave. Crowd go mad with the bassline drops. It's a vibes in ting, no skank in the rave. We a skank in the rave. Run with coke, no shamps in the rave.
The second obvious use case is, of course, controlling your smart house. This is, of course, very dependent upon how many devices you have and what type of devices you have. The most obvious ones are lights that can be controlled, but it could be also be switches, outlets that are controllable by the Google Assistant, or cameras, thermostats, stuff like that. Pretty much the sky's the limit. Yeah, robot vacuum cleaners could also be an example of stuff that you could control using voice assistants. The third category would be information, questions, trivia, stuff like that that you can ask a voice assistant. The one thing that's in this category, but perhaps not something that most people are aware of, is that you can actually use the Google speakers as sort of an intercom, because if you say, hey Google, make an announcement, you can have a message that you record on the device that you are nearest to sort of being broadcasted across all the other devices. And the good scenario for me of how to use that is to, when we're sitting in our living room and our daughter has hit herself in her room, we can just make an announcement that will be played on her Google speaker on her room, and we can tell her, that she needs to come into the living room so we can talk to her. So a really big lifesaver if you have teenagers like me and want to come in contact with them even though their doors are closed. So in conclusion, I really like this device. The price I found on AliExpress for this were $62 including shipping, and I think that's a very attractive price for a Google speaker of this size. If you look at the competition, I would say the Google Nest Audio would be an obvious choice, and that's somewhat more expensive than this one. Depending on where you can buy it, like 20 or 30% more expensive for the Google Nest Audio. So a very attractive price point for Xiaomi with this speaker, and also a very attractive unit. Again, I think it looks very similar to the Sonos Play 1. The only difference where I think this has a drawback compared to the Play 1 is that the Play 1 has a mounting bracket in the bottom section where this does not. So you cannot use those type of mounting solutions for this speaker as you would be able to do with the Sonos Play 1. Just as one thing, if you want have this to stand on a desk, you'll never notice that difference. So like I mentioned prior, there's sort of two versions of this. There's an international version called Art, and then there's this one just called the Mi Smart Speaker. The only difference that I can see is sort of the setup process, because the Art can be configured through the Mi Home app, whereas the Mi Smart Speaker, just basic or whatever you want to call it, just set up through the Google Home app, which is pretty easy to do. So just before you set it up, and the link that I will provide for you is the international version, given that most of you guys are sitting in countries across the globe. So don't sort of freak if you see the Art thing being tagged to the link that I'll provide for you guys that are interested in buying this unit. And again, the best price I could find on AliExpress is $62 including shipping, which I again find very attractive compared to the competition. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, as always, I'll be more than happy to answer. Just leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.